Hi there, TL313. This week we start Module 4, and I thought that I would just give some feedback and suggestions for how I hope you might approach the material this week. So, personal devices is the concept for this week and how you might incorporate them into your future workplace. So, what you want to start off right from the beginning is thinking about what would your learners' environment look like if they all had a personal device that would help them get through the type of material that you would be teaching. So right from the beginning, the first thing you want to do within the first day or the second day is to go straight to the discussion board and post your first impressions. You might want to take a little bit of time to do a little bit of research, but that's really not necessary. The first discussion board post really can just be your first thought, your first reactions to the concept for this week. And really use that to give some opportunity for your teammates to give you some suggestions and to share what they think about what personal devices might look like in your future workplace. That's really an important part of the whole module, is to really think about what the content looks like with the future job that you're looking for. Some of you might have that future job already. You may already be a teacher and you're getting certified. You may be already working within the area that you're going to be, and that's fine. But really think, if you're not, we have a number of Starbucks employees and student workers, who are working in an educational setting or not, but that's not the workplace that you would want to be situating your ideas for. You'd want to be thinking about where you're headed with this degree, with the content that you're learning in this class. So after your initial discussion board, the next thing you'd want to do is start your guided practice, and the first step with that is to do your mind map. What we look for with your mind map is two things. One is to see if you followed the 7 steps. So we look to see if we get the impression that you did all 7 steps, and we also look for what are critical components in the readings. So we look for certain words and certain phrases that indicate that you did read the material. So when you are doing your guided practice, when you're doing your mind map, really you should be hopefully having your future career very present in your mind as you're doing the reading, writing down, using the 7 steps of the mind mapping process, writing down those critical components from the reading, but then tying them to how you could see them working in your future workplace. So when we look at your mind map, it should be the content of the material, but then also maybe the connections that you're making to how it might look for you. When you're done with the mind map, the next part is the best practices. And I would recommend that you do just one case study. A number of you are doing 2 case studies, and I think that that's great if you need more ideas. But if you have a good idea and you have one case study, then that really is all we're looking for in the case study, is to see how well you are identifying best practices and hopefully being able to tie them to your workplace. So if one is enough, then move right ahead to the activity. The activity does have that component of the TPACK analysis in each one, so you'll see that again. I think the first week you saw the scenario being assessed with the SAMR model. Then this last week it was with the TIMS matrix. You'll have a third and different way to assess technology integration this week, but the TPACK will stay the same. Again, through all of that material, you should be thinking, how can I be applying this idea of my learners having personal devices in your workplace, and making those connections and making those ties. So when you're through with the guided practice, and hopefully you've been posting and having an ongoing discussion with your teammates in the discussion board each day, you want to try to get in there. We do look for 5 different collaboration tools to see that you are working with your group and asking clarifying questions, that you are relating your material or relating their material back to the content, to the case study, your case studies, additional resources that you find that might support them with their questions. So we want to see those 5 different collaboration tools throughout your posts, and that you are participating every day. So when you're through with the guided practice, you've been having this conversation in your discussion board, hopefully you're ready and you have an idea, and you really want to, again, situate that idea within the context of your future workplace. So if you are going to be a teacher, then the idea for this week may be, having all of your students have their own laptop or having their own smartphone. If you're a PE teacher, maybe, or working towards being a PE teacher, maybe your devices would be that every student has a Fitbit and or some kind of tablet device. If you're running a equestrian center, then maybe you have a pedometer and you want to, or a GPS, and you want students to be able to find locations. So the device doesn't necessarily have to be a laptop. Maybe it can be a device that fits your, it should be a device that fits your learning environment. But the difference is between this idea and the ones that you have done for modules 2 and 3 is that each student would have their own. That's the change, is that each student would have their own device that fits your the goal for what you want your learners to achieve. And really don't be limited in well, they couldn't afford that, or there wouldn't be enough people. Really dream big. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. And what we're looking for isn't that you put out a realistic idea that is manageable. We want to see that you are taking the content, this idea of what could you do with personal devices, and how will you apply that to your learning situation, to your future career. So that's what we're excited to see, is how you are taking these ideas and incorporating them into what it could look like with your future career. So hopefully that gives you some steps for how you might get through this week. I think we've had a number of questions, and I tried to answer those for everybody. I've had a few phone conversations, and it seemed like just having a conversation about it was a more clear way to get the message across. So if you have any questions about the content, make sure that you are posting on the conversations board, that you're talking to your facilitator, setting up a phone conference or a Skype session. Those are all other ways to support you. But have fun with it this week. I can't wait to see what you turn in, and enjoy it.